Yo, look. Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm excited. I am excited for today's show. As always, I'm your host, Marcel, known as the Wealth Mentor, and this is Wealthy Sibling, where we talk about the everyday, the good, the bad, the entrepreneur of becoming the wealthy sibling, the wealthy relative in your family, because every family has a money story and what's yours and where does it start. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about that I think is very important when we talk about like where do we start on our journey, and I think as a community, one of the things that we don't speak upon, right, is education. And I want to talk about scaling with purpose, right? Because even when I started the show, there's a purpose to this. There is always going to be a purpose to this. And one of the purposes is for you to become the wealthy sibling, the wealthy relative that you always wanted to be, right? How do you do that? Make sure y'all grab my ebook, How to Build to $1 Million Network. You get it on my website at griffinspeaks.com, or you can get it on my social medias, Instagram, Marcel Griffin Speaks. And then there you go. But get it back to the show. Get it back to the show. Because who don't want $1 Million Network? But like scaling with purpose, right? And there's something that I think that isn't talked about in our culture, right? As far as when we say we want to be wealthy and what that's like, bro, it's the HBCU and the cultural representation and how powerful that is. Not just the college, but we got something that should be in every state, in every school district with a high school, and that is a HBCU Early College Prep. The ideal alone is to me, the epitome of culture at its finest, really trying to move the needle. 100%. Now, look, today I wanted to spotlight something historic for me, right? It's happening in New York, happening in New York City. Shout out to New York, shout out to CultureCon. By the time this airs, CultureCon will be out. It's just, you will see me, right? And we working out if you're going to see me in person or not, but you will see me out at CultureCon, either way on your big screen, and I am so proud of that. But it happening in New York as of recently in 2025 is the launch of the first HBCU college prep. Like, bro, college prep, high school, they get the experience, the HBCU, the significant cultural experience way before they even have to go apply, right? And this is a game changer, right? So we prepare our kids, our siblings, our community for generational success. Oh man, sweetie. All right. So imagine earning your high school diploma and your associate's degree at the same time, right? And we have certain schools and certain ideals like that when you get college credits in high school already. That's a real thing. But by the time you walk across the stage at 18, you're already ahead 2 years and you graduate with guaranteed admission. So this is the HBCU College Preps education to secondary education pipeline to success that they have. So by the time that you're 18, you'll already be 2 years ahead with a guaranteed admission to Delaware State University. That's that's exactly what the HBCU College Prep is offering their students on the southeast side of Queens. Shout out to Queens, New York. But the reason why that is so impactful, right, for our students is because, and I talked about this in the book that I'm writing that'll come out. I mentioned, not understanding student debt, college student loans, college debt, the crises of if I don't know how to navigate when I go out into the workforce, whether it's right after high school or right after college, I get into this cesspool or drain of, man, I have to go work at McDonald's and I can't get my six-figure job because before I didn't have something to help me define or tailor out what I wanted my career to be like, right? What did I want success to be like? And then the cultural aspect to it. And I think that's why the exposure of the HBCU experience is so important and so needed way before, bruh, the idea of this and mentorship. Like I said, you already know. Here on Wealthy Sibling, one of the things that you're gonna know about me is I'm very big on mentorship because I am the wealth mentor, right? I want to build a million wealthy mentees, right? I want you to have success in your career, even if it's not in mentorships. I want you to be that eight-figure lawyer, right? That eight-figure doctor. I want you to become wealthy and contribute to our society, right? That's what we here for as a community, bro. We here to eat. We here to get to the bag. All right, so but education is one of the biggest investments you can have in your life, and that's truly so. Like even for me as a speaker, I invested in myself. I invested in my education, right? So I truly do believe that. That's not just me when we talk about traditional education. That's all form of education, right? When I go and study stocks and I do self investment in my education, when I buy books about charting and technical analysis and stuff like that, right? And why I say this often, but too often, it's most expensive mistake is if you don't play it smart. And programs like this flip the narrative because I'm pretty sure they're cutting costs. I'm pretty sure there's already worked out. That's why if they can, because you have to look at it, if they can guarantee that you're going to go to Delaware State through this program, they've already aligned with how they're going to utilize these funds to make these students go across the stage and be successful. Bro, you like talking about guaranteed admission? Come on, man. You don't get no better than that. All right, so um, the vision and the leadership. Let's talk about this. This is led by a black woman. We're in a spotlight, Dr. Asya Johnson, right? She is a DSU alumni, and I believe that's Delaware State University. And she's the attending principal at this time. She grew up in North Philly. She know about the struggle of like wanting to close the gap, the traditional Black experience, growing up in Black America, and you know she, and this is a quote from her, is that she didn't want to wait for the system to change. She wanted to create the system she wished existed, right? Just the same for me, which is why I truly believe wholehearted that this should be not just a one-stop shop, but a movement across the diaspora, across America, like period. Like this type of experience needs to exist in all of the underserved communities, especially Black communities, because it's HBCU, right? But yeah, like this should exist. The ownership, the purpose-driven excellence, right? Now, whether you are starting a business, not-for-profit, or movement, the blueprint is the same, right? What is the blueprint? To see the gap, to close the gap, right? To create the solution and to scale with the purpose. That's why we're here. You're here. You listen to the show. You watch me because you want to be that wealthy, a successful entrepreneur, career-driven person in your family, right? You want to tell a different money story when they talk about what your generation will be like, right? It's going to be wealthy, and that's what we're here to create. So let's get to it. Now, why does this work and why can this work? Okay, let's talk about the model and the key benefits of early college prep. Dual enrollment equals saving money, and saving money equals what? Saving money on tuition, free college credits, right? Now, guaranteed admission removes barriers. So not only do my son, my daughter, right, when I have one, they don't have to worry about if I'm going to get into college. That is a real thing that when I go and apply for 10 colleges, I'm scared when I open up that enrollment letter or possible enrollment letter that it's going to say denied and that I can't get in. This removes that, right? It's guaranteed admission, bro. It removes barriers. And the HBCU cultural experience, bro, builds an identity. So we no longer have to worry about the type of examples and role models that our kids will see, we will know that they will have the same outline and role models that Martin Luther King, a Morehouse man, and all the other great HBCU grads, W.E.B. Du Bois, like that lineage of excellence that we want for all our children will be embedded. It's embedded in that. That's why the HBCUs exist. It's embedded. So that, right? And then along with all the other curriculums, except especially the growing curriculums and academic ventures, which is like STEM focus and their mentorships, that creates the position for students to have a future in future industries. When we talk about AI, there, come on, STEM, bro. It's creating a pathway in the direction that our economy and our society is going. So that means that we get into the bag right out the gate. That our community and the next generation ain't finna have to worry about, like, bro, how am I gonna make $1 and will I really have to go work at McDonald's? With the HBCU College Prep, you ain't gotta worry about that. And I really think this needs to be on the radar for the rest of us, right? So now, students in early college programs, as far as stats, are more likely to graduate college, right? Avoid debt and get higher paying jobs. Come on, who don't want to make more money? Shawty, I'm trying to get to the what? As always, I'm trying to get to the bag. So of course, if this is going to be a pipeline, it's going to get me to more money. Come on, man. And the stats prove it, right? All right. So, but more than education, right? Even though education is so important, this is a wealth transfer, right? So every dollar saved on tuition, every year saved on time to the degree, that's legacy capital. And what happens when we keep our legacy capital in house? It's more money to spend with the progression of our people, right? So if I'm from Brooklyn, if I'm from Queens, if I'm from Harlem, and I've gone through this gateway and it saved me so much money that now I have less stress on the career that I'm choosing. Let's say I chose to be a lawyer. Let's say one chose to be a doctor. Let's say one chose to be in law enforcement, in politics, in education, right? And I'm striving up the ladder because I have the credentials along with me saving the money. Now I can go back to Brooklyn, Harlem, Queens, and say, yo, this extra money I got, hey, y'all, all this money we saved, how much money we got saved up? What, 100 grand all together since we all graduated from high school at the HBCU College Prep? What can we do with that? Can we make an innovation in one of the boroughs in one of our neighborhoods? For sure. Let's do it. Let's go to the city hall because we got somebody that's educated in politics. They can navigate us, that graduated from high school with us, the HBCU College Prep, and get it done. I'm telling you, bro, it's up. It's one of them. You feel me? It's one of them. And it's that. So look, now let's bag out a little bit. All right. How do you scale this idea? Because that's something that we really didn't talk to that we need to, right? Like this is in your own life of business, right? Now, how would I scale this if it was me? Vision wise, like be clear on what you want this to be. Partnership wise, always understand, especially for us as a collective, but you are not alone. You don't have to do this on your own. Collaboration is key. What is your funding strategy, right? Make sure that it's not just streamlined to one income or one source. Make sure you have different forms that are coming in. And then it's all right to plot and proof, right? It's all right to stamp your seed, grow your seed, and tell everybody that you can create a garden because you have proof, right? So I start small and build. I ain't start small, build evidence, let's get to it. Because what's my evidence when I say I know how to build $1 million network? Um, who's your favorite people around the city? If you're from Chicago, who's that? I'll pull you up and let you know that I've either worked with them, collaborated with them, and then let's go bigger. I put myself because of aligned spaces and purpose that Not only have I been in the vicinity of hearing business accolades of Nick Cannon more than once in my lifetime, the business accolades of Derrick Rose more than once in my lifetime, the business accolades of Speed, because I decided to align and go with Waymakers, and I've been to Invest Fest, and I've been on. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And the proof is in the pudding. You go look at the pictures. I do this, right? Right. But I built evidence stating to you that I do this. And then scale without a drift, right? So grow while you keep your values intact, right? So they don't just open doors for 500 kids on day one. They start with a focused plot. They build credibility, and now they're scaling, right? And I truly hope that this goes across the nation. No cap. Now, here's what I want our community to sit back and really reflect on. So, like, if you're in New York, this should be in your top 5 schools if your children are graduating from elementary school or middle school or whatever you call it in New York. And especially if you're in Queens, think about it. Even if they got to go across to another barrel, I really feel like as a culture, you should think about this. So if you're a parent, if you're a mentor, if you're a sibling, find programs like this for your young people to go to, right? Schools, itineraries that are outlined for your child's, our children's success, right? Right? Don't wait to senior year to high school for them to think about college. They coming in the door freshman year with the outline, with the what is my life going to be like, and is it going to be an HBCU, type of experience, And then if you're an entrepreneur, right, or a not-for-profit leader, right, the study can be the model of how you can be successful and create community impact, right? You learn the vision, you learn partnerships, you learn to move with purpose that can move the needle in your own work, right? This is a living outline that we as a entire community needs to focus on. And I'm very proud to even mention this. This is becoming a part of our episodes because this is something that I want to push, that we should want to push. If you say, come on, man, I came from, imagine, right? The next generation is saying, yo, I came from an HBCU college prep high school, went to an HBCU college graduate, and I'm the first wealthy sibling. I'm that successful relative. And because I had a pathway, we moving different and we moving the needle. Imagine being able to say that. Come on, man. Don't get no better. Now, one of the number one things that even as you go through high school, right, and you go through college, you're going to need this. You're going to need to know how to build a network. You're going to need to know how to find your identity, stick to that, learn what your value is, learn what your service is, learn how to navigate and be aligned. Like I said before, you can always grab the ebook. And bro, it's gonna give you 3 easy steps to success. And trust me, it works. One of the other things, and I'm gonna give you a bonus because I'm so prideful as to what's going on. The other thing is you shoot your shot. Go for it. Believe in yourself, right? That it's tailored to your identity. Believe in yourself. Come on, I'm telling you. Now, with that being said, y'all, as always, I'm Marcel, known as Wealth Mentor. Thank y'all for listening, like, share, subscribe, and always in tune with us over here at the Wealthy Sibling. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Marcel Griffin Speaks, on YouTube, Marcel Griffin, on TikTok, bro. I'm your host, Marcel, and I'm out here trying to get to the bag, and I'm out here trying to make y'all some wealthy siblings, wealthy relatives, bro. Hey, I'm the Wealth Mentor, man. Let's get to it. I appreciate y'all always.